segment is brought to you by NBA Top Shot.
Welcome back, everyone. That intro never gets old because I'm all about Connectin and Connectin, and I'm back here with episode 141. I'm one of your hosts, BananaMac, and I am joined by my guy, Tork Penderloin. How are you, buddy?
I've got that jingle stuck in my head from the intro music. We were just talking about getting music stuck in your head. And yeah, now that's going to be echoing in my brain throughout. It's catchy as heck. So shout out Connectin and Connectin producer behind the scenes. Grammy coming soon.
That's our goal around here. Treat his guitar and a whole new album. But you know what? We're not talking about that today because today we have a huge Hornets fan. First time on the pod. Your big debut, Mr. Snap. How are you, buddy?
Doing great. Thanks, guys. It's good to be here.
Is that an Australian accent?
Absolutely, which is always funny because I think people, you just instantly assume it's not when you're dealing with someone through like X or Instagram or whatever. And the moment I actually get onto a video call with someone, they're like, oh, holy shit, you're Australian. But I don't have that real like, hey, going, like I'm not super Aussie. You know what I mean?
You're not like Steve?
No, that's a bit rough. He's not that bad. He's pretty solid.
I love Steve around here.
He's great. That's he's definitely that was a bit of a disappointing loss, to be honest, but he's a good dude.
Onward and upward for Steve. He'll land on his feet, so to speak, and he'll be fine. That guy's a talented dude right there for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So I think what threw me off is that about like not expecting the Australian accent. One, everything sounds cooler with an Australian accent, in my humble opinion. But you're a Hornets fan. And so I just assumed, he's got to be from Charlotte. I know you were living on, I think, out on the West Coast at some point. But I don't, that's why I just assumed that, okay, he's got to be from Charlotte originally. So you are a Hornets fan. You're not originally from Charlotte, though. How did that come about?
One thing, right? I am short. And I grew up watching basketball in the 90s. Muggsy Bogues, man.
Bogues.
How do you look at a short king like that? He's like still taller than me now. So that's when you realize that and you go, oh, those guys are massive. Like the shortest dude is like pretty good height, 5'6". But no, it was pretty, that was my jam, man. I like rooting for the underdog as well. So having like a little guy that was just absolutely crushing it against, like, I didn't want to go for Jordan or any of those because that was what everyone else was doing. So yeah, that was my jam. Pardon the pun.
So are there any other Charlotte area teams that because I know, for example, the Hurricanes are making quite a playoff run right now in the NHL playoffs, or is that not your thing at all?
Honestly, like this is bad. I've been in Canada. Sorry about the camera there, but I've been in Canada now since 2020. We moved here right before, like 3-4 weeks before COVID really set in. So hockey, it's like I haven't quite assimilated that much in hockey. I did go to one game, which was like a local sort of beer league-y sort of game, and that was super fun. But, yeah, I haven't quite linked into that. Even like NFL, I haven't really got into much. Like I've just been focusing on basketball, which has been sick.
Yeah, I'd imagine hockey in Canada, Matt could probably testify a little bit more accurately to this, but because the extent of my knowledge and I've told everybody, any Canadian who will listen, is Letterkenny, and then by proxy, Shoresy. I don't know if you're familiar with those two shows.
Yeah.
I feel like they do hockey justice because the guy who writes and directs the show, I think his name is Jared Kiso, he used to play minor league hockey. So he's very good at emulating that world and representing it in a certain way. So when you mentioned the beer league hockey game, I bet that was way more fun than any NHL game could ever be, right, Mac?
Beer league serious around here. Honestly, like people, they don't take that lightly. They run those leagues, and Shoresy's an extremely accurate representation of every hockey high school kid I hung out with, honestly.
I love it. It makes me happy to know that I get my little experience of Canadiana, if that's even a word, or Canadian culture, if you will, from that show. But yeah, I digress. So going back to the Hornets, Muggsy Bogues fan, any other players? I mean, I'm thinking like all-time favorite players aside from Muggsy Bogues. Any favorite current players?
Oh, I mean, look, I absolutely love the whole, like every time we lose a player, I just get disappointed. Some less so than others, but like I'm loving the team, man. Obviously, I'm super digging Knipples here. That was just like mind blowing what he was doing, and I know there was a lot of discourse online between, why he was. I don't know why it became so hostile between the Knipple fans and the Cooper fans, but like the guy is like literally, like he's awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing like whether that carries on, because we've seen how many rookies have a blowout year and it's phenomenal, and then they kind of drop off for whatever reason, life or dealing with the changes or whatever. So yeah, I'm really hoping he continues, but he seems like the kind of dude that's like focused on improving all the time, and like he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. So I'm excited about that. But besides that, like LaMelo obviously is just, I love a bit of flair in a sport, and I think he does that for sure, and it annoys the absolute hell out of people. So yeah, he's cool.
Can you explain to people out there who might not watch LaMelo Ball play, and they see maybe some of the perceived antics or what the media reports? I know Mac's a fan of the Ball family, and so I feel like I like watching him play because he always does something that's crazy. But did you think that him and Con could coexist? And also maybe talk a little bit more about what do you see when you watch LaMelo play, like on the basketball court?
So on the Con fit, I always thought it was going to be a good fit because it spaces, like I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was immediately, because I didn't expect Con to be hitting threes like that, and the spacing that like brings to the table is just so fun to watch, because now you see a different version of LaMelo that no longer has to feel the pressure of the whole team. Especially Brandon Miller coming back has also had a big impact, because then that gave him two people that could shoot that he kind of hasn't really had. Having a healthy team, that was really helpful. But in the way that he plays, that's how he plays. Like, and it is so unique, but it's working. Like he did the same thing at Illawarra when he was in the NBL for his before his rookie season, and he grew up the youngest of three kids. Like he's just having fun, man. Like, and for some reason, yeah.
LeVar Ball. That is a LeVar Ball system. He told those kids, all three of them at Chino Hills, to run the ball. And he's like, just play. Just do your own thing. And it shows in LaMelo Ball's game. And that's why LeVar Ball is my GOAT. Anyway, sorry guys. I had to bring it up.
No, I didn't see you as a LeVar stan. Like I didn't know that about you. I probably should have, but
if I could have dinner with one celebrity, LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
I want to talk to that man. I just think he's a legend.
Dude, it's crazy what he did. Like what he's done with the three kids. Well, two. Well, one and a half.
But your least successful son still signed an $8 million rap career. I mean, you can't shit on that.
As his backup career. Like, that's wild. Like, that's... He's like, I'm going to have rap to fall back on if basketball doesn't work. It's like, okay, cool. $8 million later.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that one day, like, it would take a lot. Like, we'd have to do a lot in the next few years to give the, like, value to actually having, like, the other Ball brothers, even if just for a couple of games in the summer league or something. It'd be kind of cool to see them all together and see how they play.
It'd be sweet. I feel like it'd just be good on sales alone, ticket sales and jersey sales. But maybe that's just me and my bias. That I'd immigrate to Charlotte, become the super fan because I could hang out with LeVar Ball courtside.
Absolutely.
I mean,
for sure.
If LeVar can't get you courtside seats, I know Sam D. He's a big power broker in the Charlotte area. He can hook it up.
See, this is gonna happen. It's gonna be fate. All the Ball brothers.
In many top shot moments, so he knows where to be and how to get there at the right time. So yeah, we'll just leave that on the back burner and put that out into existence for right now.
Speaking of courtside, so when the Hornets, you could go and watch a game for $4.50, so pretty much like every other game prior to January 1st of 2026. We were talking with JD from the Hive about I've only been to one game, and that was the Kings and the Raptors last year. And so we've talked. I'm like, if I can get down there, I will dress up as Grandmama and I will do the whole, like, not blackface, obviously, but I'll do the whole like the wig and the pearls and the. I'm like, I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's put me in the game. See if I can get me in a moment as grandmama. I think that'll be hilarious.
That'd be sick.
That's you might start a trend in that way of people just dressing up to get, in moments. It's I think it's actually a pretty genius strategy. I just wish, and I know we touched on it earlier before we started recording about the Hornets playoff run and how we wish it might have gone a little bit longer. One little caveat to that before we dive into the Hornets season, because I want to get your thoughts on that. One of the hidden gems about watching Hornets basketball, if you get the local broadcast, is Eric Collins. Like that guy, and when I think what the NBA did this year was they were using like the local guys on the national broadcast, but then I guess during the Amazon that was during the plan, but then the playoff started. And so my point being, the national audience got a taste of Eric Collins, and that dude is absolutely brilliant at what he does. You're familiar. I mean, Mac, have you heard this guy call a game the Hornets? It's him and Del Curry, right? So Del Curry does the color commentary, and this guy does the play-by-play, and he just absolutely hilarious every time. I mean, like
he's so quick. Like he's got so many quips as well. Like, and off the top of my head, they all get jumbled up. But like, he'll say something like, "It's hotter than a fur coat in the Phoenix sun," or like something along those lines. And he's just like, "It's have hey diddly dee" or whatever. I can't remember. Like, they're not coming to me. But he's just. And they're so level. Like, I say this to my wife all the time. I'm like, when you watch another game, and you know what it's like, Mac, when a game's not televised on, say, NBA, and then you've got to jump on to SN or TSN, right? And then you hear the local commentary, and you're like, they are just 9 times out of 10, it's crazy bias for that team. We're so used to being bad that it's just fair commentary. It's just celebrating the game, and that's what Eric Collins does great. It was so sad to see when he did the playoff games, like Boston fans and 76ers fans just absolutely roasting him for like fake energy. And I'm like, bro, he brings this every game. Like he'd bring this to a matinee on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Like that's just who he is. He loves it, and I think he's fantastic. It makes the game so much more enjoyable to watch.
Leave it to a Sixers and Celtics fan to be miserable about somebody having fun calling the game. What's wrong with you guys, man? They're the worst.
It must be fabricated.
Like I mean, they're just. I mean, just. I hate everything. Meh. I mean, like, okay, cool. You're from Philly. We get it. It's tough. Whatever. But by the way, on that note, speaking of Northeast folks, God help us all if the Knicks win the title. Their fans will. I mean, I think it'll be kind of fun to watch them burn the city to the ground. And watch them, act out. But I mean, like they really like at least I guess basketball is more fun when the Knicks are relevant. But man, they're insufferable.
Here's the thing, though: if they win it all, we know Paulie's gonna be down there, and at least C&C is gonna go live while they burn the city down. I mean, our viewership's going to be wild.
Paulie Cavioni reporting live from the streets as the city burns behind him. And he's kind of dousing it with gasoline as he goes, having a good old time. And, all good. I
don't know.
Don will be like, "You guys are fine. I'm gonna suspend crime in the city for the night. Just don't do anything too crazy." Speaking of which,
Mom Donnie would be the. Sorry.
They took a shot. He was up in the. He went to the game, right? But he wasn't sitting courtside. He was up in the nosebleeds with the common folk. So, respect.
Honestly, like the Knicks winning is probably the best thing Mom Donnie could have happen to him, because it's just for 5 minutes, attention would be elsewhere, and he can be like, "Sweet, I just work for a couple of days and not worry." But I don't know, like. I think it's going to be tough, really, for any of the it's what a crazy series OKC versus Spurs has been for like 1,000 reasons, and like the energy exerted whilst the Knicks like did it in 4. So normally you've got 3 days, like 3 games less to play, but their 4 games were arguably much easier than any of the games that we've seen in the series between the Spurs and OKC.
I mean, I
wouldn't be surprised.
The East is a bit of a cakewalk. I'll just say it. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and I'm not going to argue that somebody else didn't have a tougher path, but everybody's banged up in the West anyway. And those in Oklahoma City and San Antonio are beating the crap out of each other right now. I still think they're both better than New York, but given the rest, and I think it's going to come down to this. Like, if you look at how the series is being officiated in Oklahoma City, if they let whoever wins Oklahoma City or San Antonio, if they let, because you've got Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso that can harass Jalen Brunson. You've got Castle that can do the same for San Antonio. But if they let those guys be as physical with Brunson as they are with each other, it's going to be really tough for New York to do anything, because Brunson is very predicated on getting a lot of foul calls. So, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for my Knicks homies. I mean, like, I got to cut like Paulie, shout out Top Shot Yoda, those guys. So I feel good for them. But yeah, at least they'll enjoy it, and I mean, let's go back to Philly and Boston fans and slander them some more. I mean, they'd probably just be like, meh, whatever. I mean, like, Philly fans, they just grease the light poles and make sure they don't really do anything too stupid, and that's it. But Philly fans don't really celebrate. They just want an excuse to just burn stuff. That's my experience.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't have anything
Shop,
necessarily against Philly before this, but it's just coming out of nowhere.
It really is. It's like
I'm a Cowboys fan. They threw snowballs at Santa. These are not good people. Just saying. Did we Mac, you still there?
Did you guys lose me?
No.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of freezing though on my end. Are you getting that talk?
A little bit, yeah. That's okay. We'll work through it. Live show business.
Can you hear me?
Right
okay over here?
Yeah.
It is show business. With my internet, it's show business every week.
Dude, I've spent my life on stage and I've never had to deal with like these like glitchy sort of things like this. Aren't like so foreign to me that I'm like, I have no idea. I went and bought a ring light today. That's as close as I get to like podcast technology.
So you on stage, what do you say? Is this music or you?
Yeah. So I'm actually like by trade. I'm so I do live looping, but I used to do music full time back in Oz. So I would do as many as I think 250 gigs a year.
Whoa.
And so I love it, man. I put spins on stuff and I just end up adding an element of comedy, or like I just go with the flow, man. And I love it. And then when we moved to Canada, I wasn't really going to play much and sort of take a break, change the career and move into the cannabis industry. And then I did like an open mic night here, and the owner threw the book and was like, just pick dates. We need you to come back. So now I just do like one a month and it's super fun, and I make a dick of myself and play some tunes.
Heck yeah, man. So just basically you and a guitar and like a looping machine, a sampling machine?
Yeah. So I've got like a Boss loop station. So I also play saxophone and beatbox and play bass, and it's like a Dick Van Dyke without the Van Dyke.
Right on. I can appreciate that. Can we find any of your stuff online? Do you want to out that stuff or no?
I've not posted anything in so long. I think I've got stuff from like 10 years ago on Danois Snap on YouTube.
Okay.
But I can link some stuff to the in the comments when we go.
That'd be great. I'd love to see it. I'm all about it.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. One of my favorite musicians, and not a lot of Americans know him. He had a little decent run here in America, but Ben Lee. And Breathing Tornadoes is probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
That's the way I like it, man.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I like Ben Lee a lot, and so yeah, Australians got some.
Was he really random fact? Wasn't he married to Claire Danes?
He was married to Claire Danes.
Yeah, he probably just got sick of the constant like. I don't know if she's like that in real life, but everything she acts in, she seems like she's about to cry, and I don't know what's happening.
What was that her most recent show where she was like addicted to pills or something, and it was just like, and she was just like a bit like I'm sad about everything, and I'm just about to have a nervous breakdown, and I was like, okay, that's like every role that you play. To your point, yeah.
So they just took all of her other roles and go, this is the vibe you give us. Let's typecast you into specifically that, and she's like, this is great. I don't even have to act. I can just talk.
Yeah, she'll just call it method acting, but it's really just her.
It's a lifetime of method for the role she didn't know she had.
Man, so let's catch up for a second. So as far as spot today, we've got Steve with the slander right off the bat from Mac. Philly's catching it for me out of nowhere. Now Claire Danes, for no apparent reason, is just getting involved. So we're on a roll.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it. Who else are we gonna? Who's under the bus next?
Treat.
Oh, Treat, for sure.
We can slander Chris Treaticus. You know, I mean, where do we even begin with him? First off, put out another song, dude. What are you fucking doing? I mean, like that's like, get your guitar out. I know he's gonna say he's a mayor and he has stuff to do, like run a city. But no, dude, like you owe us a song, and I'm mad about this.
Absolutely.
All he's doing is hanging out with Scottie Pippen. That's what he's doing right now. He's not even being the mayor.
Is it really?
Yeah, he sent us a photo the other day of him. He had to deal with Scottie Pippen because have you ever heard Chris tell the story about the time he played Scottie Pippen in high school? No. It's very Uncle Rico-esque. Like, man, if I could just go back to state. And I'm like, dude, we get it, dude. You hit a jumper over Scottie Pippen or what? I don't know, man. But no, they have a deal now, and I guess some of the Grizzlies showed up. But Treat's very much involved in the Grizzlies basketball community as best as he can be.
Nice.
Yeah, you know that's what politicians do. So more power to him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't written a song in a while. Maybe I'll put something to paper and see what you think.
You're gonna embarrass the shit out of him, and I love it.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be like Treat was here and showed us the level, and then here comes Dan War, like way up here. So, yeah.
Well, I feel like the expectations are getting beyond control now, so I might have to pull out of the race. We've set a bar very high.
I am the ultimate hype man, if not anything else.
I love it.
Speaking of hype, coming into the season, we talked about Mr. Knipple and the rookie race and Cooper and all that stuff. So a lot of hype around the rookie class. Some excitement about Top Shot for the first time. I mean, let's be honest, kind of hit a lull. Some apathy developed amongst some collectors. And how do we think now that we've had a month to reflect? We've got the playoffs going on, but we can kind of see the general overall how Top Shot season went with the cadence of drops. How do you guys feel it went?
I thought they did a great job this year. I mean, it's never been perfect, but I think it was always going to be a tough dial back from 60,000 mints. So, like, once they got to that point and the amount of people that just, like, how do you then go, oh, you're right, let's drop back to 8? Because that's an immediate admission of, like, hey, we kind of cooked the goose there. We probably should have kept it low. So I get why it happened the way it happened. And, like, I've been in communication with them a lot because for some reason, whenever something happens that's glitchy, I catch it. Like, it happens to me, or I'm like, there'll be a bug or something, and I'm like, Jacob. So now I just message Jacob directly. I'm like, hey, man, what is going on? I'm really sorry. Like, you know, and I think my experience over the last few years is definitely, this year was the best by far, in my opinion. I like the scarcity, and I like the involvement, and I like the positive energy around Top Shot in general. So you're seeing less negative talk. I also blocked a lot of people that were just absolutely shit on Top Shot at any cost, right? Because I'm like, well, yeah, I love it. Like, and there's still value. Like, I don't think I've ever pulled money out, right? Because I lock every Hornets moment I have. The moment it hits my account, I lock that up, or now I hold on to it so I can do it every day with the with the playoffs. But I'm like, for me, it's just it's a platform to enjoy. And I think when the issue really was people making a lot of money off it, and then depending on that. And so when that was taken away and we started moving more towards collectors, it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And rather than pivot and find a way to make it still work in that sort of space, they just got angry and they just shit on it and find the next thing to move on to. And I think, yeah, they did a good job. And I will say I was quite vocal about Drew's involvement. I don't know how much he had in the positive aspects of Top Shot this year, but whatever, if he did, man, I'd take all that back. If he didn't, leave it there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And the playoffs have been pretty sick too. Like, I like this points thing. I mean, I wish there was more. I think they'll hopefully they learn a lot from this run. And I think next year we could maybe even make it better. Like, it'd be nice to have a way for different tiers to have access to prizes that they want. So whether you're within like the first tier and then say the max points, I can't remember how they are, like max points of what All-Star was 40K or the one below was 40K or something like that, right? So maybe all of the prizes worth up to 40K are accessible to those people first, or I don't know. Just a way that we can sort of get it, because now I'm sat on almost 60,000 points, and I'm just hoping something comes up in the next 25 days or whatever it is.
Yeah. I got a suggestion for that. I think the point store should update with moments and different things, but not always at the same hour of the day. It's like 12 p.m. Eastern for me. If you had it updating every 4 hours or 8 hours, you'd make people happy in every time zone and give people an opportunity.
Dude, like, I mean, I love Riker, 007, but Riker, but he cops it, man. Like, he's on the wrong time zone. He seems to have the worst luck with everything, but, like, I get it. It's like if you're in Australia and it's dropping at 2 a.m. in the morning, you're either too drunk to really probably deal with that, or you're asleep, or you're getting up and getting ready for work. It's not, and so I think that's a great idea. Whether it's every 4 hours, five items drop into the thing, something along the whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's a great idea for sure.
To add to that, I'd say restrict it to tiers as well. Like make a get all the same moments, but just make it so like, okay, if you have under 100,000 points or whatever that MVP level is, you have access to these moments. The whales do not. The people that have all the points that have early access do not get to touch those first. Because I think that's if I'm understanding Rykon correctly, that's one of his gripes is like, you guys are buying these moments. And I don't even have a chance to get at them, because they're just gone by the time I get to them. And I think something
absolutely,
and it's a tough balance to strike. But yeah, I mean, I'd be very curious to know what they're going to do when we all have leftover points that nobody's been able to spend. And so is it just like, well, we told you guys it was expiring June, whatever, tough luck. See you guys next year. I would hope they'd have some kind of contingency plan in place. I think I've seen going back to Rykon, I think he floated the idea of giving some non-refundable Dapper credit in that regard, which, X amount of dollars for however many points, which not a bad idea. But
you can have that throughout the whole campaign too. You can have that throughout the whole campaign. Whereas if you needed to get, like, for example, you're the day before payday, you've got 10,000 points and a Top Shot this playoffs moment drops and you're like, shit, what am I going to do? It'd be cool if you could just trade points for one of those packs.
Agreed. And to give Top Shot credit, they are open to constructive criticism. I mean, like you mentioned DMing with Jacob. I know that he will. I mean, he's busy obviously, but he will respond, and he definitely takes this very, very seriously and wants to engage with the community. I know Vinyl's online when Rykon starts. He's very patient with Rykon when Rykon's frustrated. And I get Rykon's frustration, but, maybe a different stylistic approach than dropping a bunch of F-bombs might get the point across a little bit better. But at any rate, maybe sometimes that helps. But at any rate, I've seen Vinyls engage and be like, nope, actually, that's a good idea. We can do that. So it's not like they're just, you guys are stuck with this. It's an ongoing conversation about how to make things better. So
for sure, absolutely,
on throughout the year as well. So I'll give them a lot of credit in that regard too.
And also, like, it's passion. Yeah. We get upset because we love Top Shot. So, like, if something like the amount of time, like there was a couple of times where I was like with the thing spinning while I'm waiting for a pack to drop and I'm first, and then they're all gone, and I'm like, how did that work? It was literally saying that I'd paid for it. Those sorts of instances where you're like, I just want the thing. Right. And it's like, I want to be a part of this so desperately because I love it so much that it's like when a glitchy sort of thing happens, it can be frustrating. And it's only out of passion. I think but I'm probably guilty as well. I could probably handle the way that I communicate a little bit better, but I'm Australian and I don't give a.
I've had my moments where like it's stuff happens or whatever. I mean, like it is what it is, but with the season that the stuff that I pulled, I've got no complaints. I got lucky enough to get in on a break, pulled some heat. So that's another thing I want to highlight. I'm really happy they're doing breaks. I think that's a really good way to get more people involved and maybe give them a chance at things like cases. Cause I'll never be able to afford a case or much less probably get one if I could, but that's a good way for me to participate.
I will say this. I do wish that they at least gave some sort of shout out or credit to the Steady Breaks guys for what they developed and what they contributed to the growth of Top Shot as well. Like, they crushed it, man. Like they really developed a community, and I was part of that community. And it really did sort of enhance my Top Shot experience because I got to, for $10, I could get in on a break, and it might have been a garbage team or whatever, which was probably my team at the time, but I could get in on a break and have a chance of hitting these moments. But also the interactions were great. They'd interact with the guys chatting and all that sort of thing, like they do now. But I do wish that there might have been just even a little nod, or I don't know, it would have been a cool sort of thing to see. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I just wish there was more of them because I think I'm 0 from 11 at the moment.
Well, you're due. That's what that means. That's that math.
Hopefully.
It's got to catch up at some point.
Have you ever had any really big pulls this year? Like, what was your best rip of the season?
Great question.
I hit it like in my first. Okay, so this is kind of a cool story. When the rookie chance packs dropped, right, it was like I was broke. It was like I just didn't have extra cash to spend on what's the name, right, on Top Shot. So I went through and sold a whole bunch of base moments and stuff, and bought a few packs. And I hit a number 14 Cooper flag, so I immediately sold it for like I think it was 400 or maybe 350. And at that stage, the con Knipples were only like $60. So I got one of each tier of the cons because it was like everyone's like, why would you sell that? It's Cooper flag. I'm like, I don't collect Cooper, so I'm like, I'm going to flip that and buy everything I collect. So I've got each of the cons, and then because of that, I got put into like at that stage before everyone got on the con train was like buying like I was in top 5 or something. So then the next airdrops, I happened to get the con MGLE from an airdrop and the Origins one, right? So the only one I had to try and get for the rest of the season, which is why I was doing that conquest, was the freshman gems, which I ended up hitting really randomly after I sold off a different moment. But that would probably be my biggest hit of the year. Outside of that, it was in a chance pack last season or the season before, Donovan Mitchell season 1 holo or something at the time, but no one was buying it at 4K while that was the base price. I'm like, oh my God, a bank. And then I ended up selling it for like 750 or something at one point. But yeah, that would have been my biggest, that's my career hit. And then the Cooper was probably the funnest hit and what it gave me, because I wouldn't have had all the con moments that I had, and it was super fun season because of it.
Yeah, and that rookie class jumped a lot in price. I picked up con at $19 on an offer.
Yeah.
That was a high offer. Like, why did I not buy 10 of those?
I remember your post about that. Because you did a post on X, you're like, why didn't I buy more of these? I was like,
what is wrong with me? And I thought that was pricey at the time. I was like, oh, am I going to get them for less later? Oh, no.
It's insane. And they're still they will come down, I assume, next season, as they all seem to do. But then having said that, they're much more scarce this year. So who knows?
It's a lot less room for movement and drops of pricing and things like, or floors, et cetera. But yeah, the scarcity part of it's pretty fascinating in that regard. Yeah,
really quickly,
I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Well, on that, no, you're all good, man. I do things for a living that affect my short-term memory, so I absolutely understand. Don't do this to me. Okay, so how do we feel about the season locked team leaderboards? Because I think they're fantastic. I think it's the best thing that one of the best things they've brought in.
I became a Wizards fan this year because of that. Because I was just collecting my guy Trey Johnson, and so figured, okay, I'm not sacking Cooper flags. I'm not going to play the whale game. So might as well just go with the Wizards, and it turned out pretty well. All the snapshots, making sure that they give you a chance at at least a rare. I think I pulled 2 holos. I got like an Alex R Mojo from the first snapshot, and then most recently it was the Gilbert Arenas shot. Whatever. I'm not, dude. I don't care about the Wizards, man. Like, I mean, they're all right. I mean, like, I hope I want.
I don't think anyone does.
I want my guy Trey to do well, but I actually bought the league pass just so I could watch Trey Johnson and watch the Wizards, bro. their organization is just it's sad to watch because it's almost like they don't care, and their coach just doesn't. I mean, but then again, they were tanking. But I also, as an athlete and as a competitor, I'm like, how do you can't just switch that mentality and turn it off? I mean, it's if the coach has got that mentality, then and they brought him back again this year, and I guarantee you, what's the date today? The 29th of May. That dude, Brian Keefe, he will be fired within the first 60 days of the NBA season, first month or two of the season. He's just not, because they're going to realize hey, we have a team that might actually do something, and he ain't it. But yeah, I'm sorry to the Wizards fans out there. It's tough. Sorry, Esther.
They also have a team that's going to take a bit of I think a bit of development in regards to cohesion. You're bringing in Anthony Davis and Trae Young, which is kind of interesting and exciting, but I don't know, man. I feel like you've got a lot of very big egos on the team that have been moving around a fair bit. Obviously not Trae, but Trae had his problems at the end with Atlanta. I don't know. I hope it works out for them. It'd be nice to see less teams inclined to. Now with the changes, they're not going to want to finish in the bottom anyway. But yeah, I hope it works out. The more competition we have, the better.
They've had 2 years of, they drafted middle of the first round and some late second rounders, early second rounders like Keyshawn George, Bilal Coulibaly, Bub Carrington, all guys who can handle and kind of do their own thing, but they're not true number ones. And so the whole season, I'm like, man, if these guys just had a point guard, somebody actually moved the offense, because all it is literally just them passing each other ball, taking turns playing one-on-one. That was their offense, and that was it. It was sad. Anyway, so they get Trae Young, and Trae actually wants to be there. The Anthony Davis thing, bro, he's got to go. He probably doesn't even want to be there, but he will slow down their growth because he's just that dude. Anthony Davis is the Luka, trading Luka was one part of that. But for Anthony Davis,
dude, you cannot convince me otherwise that there is not a link between that horrendous trade, right? Although, having said that, they also traded Jalen Brunson. What did they get for Jalen Brunson? For what he's turned in,
was he traded?
What
or
they could have
free agency.
He
might have been free agent.
Fucking mad, and I'm sorry to use that. You know what? Sorry, I'm not sorry.
I think I've used it 5 times tonight, so I apologize.
Well, I'm a huge Brunson fan because I remember watching. Even though I'm from Texas, and it's funny. Let's bring it full circle back to Philly because of all the Philly slander. I love Villanova. Strangely enough, from Philadelphia, the Jay Wright teams did it. I remember going and watch. It was it wasn't Ray Allen, but a guy named Alan Ray. Kyle Lowry was on that team, and Randy Foye. And I just remember watching their guard play, and it was insane. It just kind of gotten better and better and better from there. Watched Nova win the national title with Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo, a.k.a. the Michael Jordan of Delaware. But, yeah, they play such a good style of basketball, and I see that emulated, obviously, with the Knicks because they're bringing all that stuff back. But, yeah, I find it funny that I'm now waxing, poetic about something in the city of Philadelphia after slandering them. But yeah, about that draft. I was telling everybody Luka's great, and everybody's focused on Luka and in the Trae Young trade and who was going to do better. I was like, you guys don't get it. They got Jalen Brunson in the second round. He's going to be the guy. And then they traded him.
The second round is wild.
It blows my mind because he's too small, right? It's kind of like what you block people that shit on Top Shot, right? It's the easy thing to do to shit on Top Shot or shit on anything you don't like. Without having a solution. If you're going to bring a problem, bring a solution. It's the same cliche shit about Jalen Brunson. He's too small. He can't run an NBA team. He can't do this or he can't do that. It's like, okay, cool. You guys want to continue on with the lazy takes, or you want to provide some independent thought? Probably not the independent thought thing, but whatever.
Boom.
Rant over. Thank you for coming to my Tork talk. Anyway,
we're going to be clipping that for Twitter. That was pretty damn good, Tork.
That was good.
Yeah.
But back to the crux of that real quick is that you could not convince me that there's not a link between that horrendous trade and number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
I'm an odds guy, and there's no one's taken that. And look, it might have just been a twist of fate or whatever it was, but what the fuck?
I don't know what I'm about to bring up. I think it probably supports your theory a little bit more. everybody is fixated on the Maverick and on what you just said, and rightfully so, because, hey, there's smoke fire type thing, right? It's a little weird. Why aren't we talking about the Spurs and how many number one picks they got? I mean, like how they got Wemby and they got Castle, and they defied the odds on both. So why aren't we talking about that? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's true. And I'm also pissed about Wemby because we were number 2 that year, and I was so excited. Like, I was at a gig and I literally stopped the gig because I was doing, well, I didn't stop it. I had the phone on the mic stand and I was like, I need to watch this, right? So I'm like watching it, waiting to get to the start of the thing. I was in the middle of the song. So I just left the loop going and stepped into the bar, and I'm like, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you're good. I'll make the gig good. I'm just going to watch this for a second, and I could be very, very happy for the rest of the gig. And then it was Wemby, and they went to fucking Spurs, and I was like, I had to go back out and just sing and pretend to be happy. And it was like a reggae song, like a really upbeat song, and I'm like dying inside. I'm like, no. But I mean, we got Brandon Miller out of that, so that was great. But yeah.
Not bad. I like what you guys can do with Brandon Miller and with Con space in the floor. And that's why I love Con in an era where everybody just wants to dribble. I've got counter moves like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which is great. That's cool. Whatever. But I want a guy who can move without the ball and get himself open without needing the ball. And
that was the most frustrating thing around, like, the sentiment that he was just shooting and like he just had open threes. And it's like, yeah, he made that. Yeah. But you watch him, he is so good off ball, and that's the one thing I say to anyone. I'm like, if you want to watch Con and you think he's just a three-point shooter, watch him off the ball, making space, reading plays, setting screens. He is such a good, like, pick and roll guy. Like, he's great, man. I love him. But yeah.
When people say that about Con, I'm like, tell me you're a casual fan without telling me you're a casual fan, because that's another lazy take right there. Because those are people who are probably just watching whoever's handling the ball, not seeing all the extra. That's probably the person who's like, yeah, I hate Luke Cornett. He sucks. He doesn't score any baskets. But you forget all the screens and all the dirt, like Hartenstein, all the dirty work he does to get people open. You know, and you got to have guys like that. What did Josh Hart say the other day? Another Villanova guy after the Knicks game.
I love him.
After his career, he had, I think it was game 2 or 3 where he had a career high playoff points. And they asked him after the game about, like, hey, well, the analytics say this, and this. And he's like, man, I'm going to be really honest with you. I've always hated analytics. I think they're stupid. And he said, they're like, it's like a drunk guy in a lamppost. You can lean on it for a little bit, but it ain't going to get you home. And it's like, okay, Josh, that kind of makes sense. But
he's so good.
The point being, he will do so many other things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet that impact the game. And that's why I think why New York is where they are right now. But glue guys are going to make a comeback. You need guys like a Grant Williams, even though Grant Williams kind of lost his touch, but you need guys like that on your team, to throw their body around a little bit and be an enforcer and stuff.
So, I mean, I would much rather Marcus Smart than Grant Williams at this point, even after last year. But I love those players. You're right. I love the ones that get dirty. But really quickly, speaking of things that Hart does that aren't on the stat sheet, did you see him give the thumbs up to Brunson at the was it at the NBA Cup? Did they win the NBA Cup this year?
Dude,
did we? No, we were Summer League.
No, the Knicks did.
I think it was the NBA Cup because they're on national, and he always waits to do that when they're on national TV to get him to react. Are you talking about the thing that I think you're talking about?
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you the funniest part about that. I didn't know that, right? And so every family photo, I do that to my youngest brother. And so I'm not even talking like my mum went to university at a later time in her life, right? And so we went to a graduation. And in the graduation photo, I did that to my brother. And he's just like, and everyone else is like incredibly serious. So when I saw Hart do that, I was like, I sent it straight to him. I'm like, man, this is a normal thing. This is normal. It's a sign of endearment. Like, don't worry about it. Like,
Josh is a very, very funny dude, and he knows how serious Jalen is. And so he likes to really go out of his way. Mac, you know what we're talking about. That little moment where he gave him a little, how do you do?
Yeah.
And the look on
thumb up the Jackson.
It was priceless. Brunson shot him a look like, and then it's like you can see the wheels like, shit, we're on national TV. but I will smack the shit out of you. And
But then you saw him this year, right? You saw him
Yeah.
at the Eastern Conference final, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Get away!" He like completely like
Literally.
separated himself, and people are like, "What was that about?" And that's honestly, that's the kind of thing I love in anything. It's character, it's personality. It just shows that like there's a side to them that isn't just professional basketball. It's kind of fun, and that's honestly that's why I love Josh Hart, man. I think he's so good for the game for that exact reason, and he plays his like heart out. Pardon the pun, but yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, any player who shows personality, I mean, it kind of is a win for me. It's the reason I like LaMelo Ball so much. I think the dude's funny. I know some people are like childish, grow up. I laugh at a lot of his interviews and stuff. It makes me like his game more. Maybe because I'm childish.
It's really mostly older people that don't like LaMelo, if I'm being completely honest, and because they want their athletes to be a nice, rigid, like professional or what their perception of professional is. I'm like, dude, he can have fun and still ball out, pun intended. While doing it. I mean, like, why quit hating? Why are you like be inspired? Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
So my thing with it is if you are going to be goofing around, I just expect you to be putting up points and doing half decent. I'm the same way in baseball. Okay. If you're playing baseball and you're hitting the ball and you're catching and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I don't care if you're goofing off in the clubhouse. But the minute you're striking out and then you're going back and you're goofing around, that's when I get pissed off. I'm like, take your game serious if you're not performing. If you're performing, have fun.
Agreed. Agreed.
Flashback. I feel like Coach Mac just gave me a scolding.
Well, you have been in re-education a couple times, so
Get out of line.
We got to keep you in line, buddy.
Get out of line. It happens. Man, you're golly, Mac. I should have known it was going to go this way when you just slandered Steve right off the bat. I'm going to keep bringing that back up.
Poor Steve. If I'm not slandering him in DMs and I'm just doing it on a live show, it's just how I behave. I need re-education.
It's like the most passively behind his back you could be. You're like, it's not behind his back, but it kind of is.
I love my mate, Steve.
Love you, Steve. You're the best.
Steve's great.
So, predictions for the rest of the playoffs is we got Game 7 coming up. This will probably be out afterwards, but at least we can timestamp it beforehand. Who's winning Game 7?
I really want the Spurs to win. Like, I've loved the Spurs since Patty Mills with them. He's just what a legend of Aussie basketball. Patty just gave 175% at every time. Sorry, I'm making up Trump percentages, but he absolutely he was awesome. So I've always liked them. I love Pop as well. So they were the underdogs, and I am not a big fan. This might surprise some people, but I'm not a big fan of OKC. And not a big fan. I love SGA as a player up until this season. And I just feel like the whole, I don't know, kind of felt a little bit insufferable. I don't know. I'm on that side of the fence, but I really hope the Spurs win. I think it's going to be 120, 115 sort of vibe. I think that might be closer to, it'll be a high-scoring game, I think, very physical. I'm hoping the refs let it go. And I honestly think that even though I did say, the break will definitely serve the Knicks well, I think you'll bang on with your assessment of how it's refereed. And I think if it's refereed physical, I think the Knicks don't have that physicality to match. Cat is massive and just doesn't really play with the physicality that his body would match. But yeah, I honestly really hope the Spurs go all the way, but I think Spurs will win this, and then I think the Knicks might win in 5 or 6.
Okay.
I like it.
Mac?
I'm going to go OKC over Spurs, but you got to understand, I love SGA. SGA is a hometown kid for me, so it's I'm always going to root for him and OKC just for that purpose. But when it comes to the finals, I'd be going Knicks. And I kind of think it's going to be like what we saw with the Mavs and the Celtics. I think OKC and the Spurs have fought so much, and the Knicks are getting to rest, that the Knicks are going to be on an easier path. Yeah. The last 7 games are so physical on the other side. 4 games they've rested. They're chilling.
And they're definitely feeling themselves right now, and you can see the confidence in team chemistry. So I wouldn't want to play the Knicks. I think as far as Game 7, I'll go Spurs. Just cause. Fun fact: I was born in San Antonio, but I'm not a Spurs fan. I moved to Dallas for I think I was like 2. So when I was actually understanding what sports was, that was when the Mavericks were god awful, and we stuck with them anyway, even though the Spurs were winning. But I did get to go to one Game 7. It was the Pistons and the Spurs. The last Chauncey Billups. It was the year before my buddy got drafted. It's like back in the early 2000s. But anyway, Game 7, and so I got to go to one Game 7 of an NBA Finals, and the Spurs won that. And leaving that arena, it wasn't as developed around the arena at the time, and they still kind of have you go out this certain way to get back to the freeway, but they lead you through this little like one lane neighborhood of like all these little houses and stuff, and it's like a little parade route. Everybody's out of their houses just going fucking nuts, setting off fireworks, going. I mean, it was a scene. So people in San Antonio know how to party. Like, I'll give them credit for that. Charles Barkley likes to slander it, and I know that Mark Cuban. My favorite thing about when the Mavs and the Spurs were, Mark Cuban was trying to generate a rivalry between the two of them, and he was talking shit about the Riverwalk, and he's like, he's like, all you guys have is just a brown like river going through the middle of your city. Like, what is that about? And so they asked Pop about it, and Pop, of course, was like, oh, Mark Cuban said that, and you want to know what I think about that? Okay. He's like, well, what I think is once you sit down next to that brown water and you have a couple margaritas, you don't give a shit what color the water is. That was it. So, Pop legend. And that's the other reason I'm rooting for the Spurs is I think that they're on there. We're going to win one last one for the Gipper because he's had his fingerprints on this team. He's been around the team behind the scenes, even though his health has been not so good. But I love seeing him out. I love seeing him with Tim Duncan on TV the other day. That warmed my heart. He's an absolute legend of the game. And so I would love to see the Spurs get one more for him because you never know what could happen down the road. And I mean, not just with, life and death, but I mean, like just getting back to the NBA championship for crying out loud. That's tough enough.
It's unreal.
When someone mentions a name of a player or a person and it's almost like your brain has its own PFP of that person that sticks in your memory. And so mine for Pop is him leaning over the bench looking at Shaq after he did the hacker Shaq in the first, and he's like, it was like the first 10 seconds of the game, and then Shaq's like, what the hell's going on? Just look over at Pop, and he's like,
genius, man.
Was that like the first game of the season or something as well? I think it was, or it was, it was so unnecessary.
Well, I think they had just played each other in the playoffs the year before, and he had employed the hack-a-shack, and that the league was like, okay, we're not going to let y'all do that anymore. If you do this, then we're going to call whatever. And so he was like, okay, I'll just make fun of your rule right from the jump, and there you go. So
yeah, it was so funny.
Classic Pop. What an icon, man. And I look back at those battles that the Spurs wouldn't have or the Mavs wouldn't have ascended to where they were without the Spurs. Like they needed to have somebody to aim for, and the Spurs were that dude. Going back to one thing about the Oklahoma San Antonio series, I am absolutely loving how angry the fans are at each other. Like you could show them the same video of what happened, and all three of us will see it and be like, "Yep, that's what happened," and we all agree that that's what happened. And the two other, each side will have their own slant on it. I'm like, man, you guys, the other side is so dirty. They're the worst. The rest are letting them get away with everything. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm not involved in this shit. You guys are fucking having fun.
The lack of self-awareness on both sides is insane. They're like, they're so dirty. I'm like, you've got Lou Dort. Like, that's all I have to tell you. You've literally, in the same game, like the video that really got me laughing was Lou Dort Superman flying in while Harrison Barnes was on the three-point line. And they're like, watch Harrison. It's so dirty. He pushed his elbow into his knee. I'm like, he's upright. How the hell could he possibly push his elbow into his knee if Dort was in a normal defending position? And meanwhile, it's like, well, you want him to just get knocked out by a knee?
Exactly. It was funny you bring that up. I was talking to, shout out Mr. Kicker, big OKC fan. We were talking about Lou Dort because he was like, because I told him I think Lou Dort's dirty because I watched Lou Dort kick the shit out of Luka Doncic and like literally kick him and just
when he kneed him in the chest.
And Mr. Kicker's point was, he showed me some videos like Lou Dort hasn't done anything this series. I was like, that's not, doesn't mean he's not guilty. He seems to pick on certain players. And you mentioned that one play. I remember seeing that at the time, that I videotaped it with my phone and be like, no, I want to remember how crazy this shit looks, because I've never seen anybody close out like that before. And the counter argument was, he's not dirty, he's just uncoordinated and big. And I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna use the golden retriever argument. He's a golden retriever puppy and just woefully unaware of how big he is, and so he's just moving. No, you're in the NBA. You know, like, when we played basketball in high school, you knew how to like get in somebody's land. I mean, my team never did it. People do, but other players would do it, where you know how to get your foot in their landing zone. You know how to throw elbows a certain way. You know how to make it look a certain way without it being completely flagrant. And yeah, man, he's Lou Dort is very, very good at what the I think Australians would call it as well, but what Europeans refer to in soccer as the dark arts. And you know, all the stuff the defenders do, the Sergio Ramoses of the world, that do all this bullshit off the ball, all the kind of like what Isaiah Hartenstein's been doing this series. You know, to Wemby. So it's like, man, you guys are both pot calling the kettle black. Everybody's upset because when they think Wemby was ordering hits on people coming out of the game. And even if he is, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What? That's not a foul to say hard foul. Like, how, if you say to someone hard foul, you've not made it happen. You just said, I'm like, how are you? Look,
for what it's worth,
I want them to be able to fight it out.
Yeah,
that's it. Let them both get at it.
You don't need to tell Plumlee and Biyombo to hard foul anyway. They're going to fucking do it no matter what. Yeah, if anything, you want to be like, hey, guys, just don't go too hard. Like, don't kill anybody, because we're going to need you to foul somebody next game. And
but
so
making it like it's some sort of super nefarious like action, and it's like, it's sport, bro. Like, I think the way that the last game was called was the best of the 6 games by a long shot. There was probably, obviously every game's going to have some dubious or missed calls or whatever, but I think overall that was pretty solid. Like, there were 3 times, by the way, I don't know if you guys watched the whole game, but there was 3 times where OKC player literally with a wind-up hit the head of a Spurs player, and there was no extra review. And I was like, what happened there? Like, how did that even happen? I'm like, if you're going to do that way, great. Do it the whole way for the next game 7. Let them fight it out, and that would be just the coolest thing to watch.
And I'm
not talking about elbows, but
well, and it's cool that also look at how much we care. Like, I'm animated during this discussion. I don't even have a dog in this fight, but I love watching 2 teams that really give a shit about who's going to go on to the championship. This isn't some petty like, oh, we're going to shake. I mean, it's not like, you know, hey, people. I'm not dogging Ant for this, by the way. I understand why he did it. But there's nobody walking over 7 minutes left in a game, you know, shaking. There's no camaraderie there. I mean, like, it's there. These guys want to really, and people beg for that stuff all the time. And then when they finally get it, they're like, no, I don't like it. They're letting them beat each other up too much. You can't have both ways.
No. It's exciting when they're beating each other up.
Thank you.
It's not exciting watching, like, the Knicks. It was awesome. They swept. That's great. It's not as exciting. I want to see them dogging it out. Unless it's my team, then I don't enjoy it. I want to see a sweep. But if it's anyone else's team, I want them to fight.
Hey, the Knicks are boring. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I do not find their style of basketball to be fun to watch at all. It is what it is. Sorry, I'm not sorry. But, you know, it's effective.
Yeah. They did something right.
Yeah. I mean, it works. It's just never really excited me. I mean, I've never really been a big Knicks fan. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few teams I do enjoy watching, but I players more so, and I don't think there's anyone in particular on that Knicks team that really excites me. They're phenomenal players. Like, Cat shoots lights out, and I think if they accept the fact that he's their point guard, I think they'll do very well over the next little bit, because he's been crushing. When he's the general and it's like frees up Brunson a little bit, I think it's pretty awesome. But they're just not that exciting.
No,
it's a plodding pace. And it's just, it's tough. Hey, once again, I know my Knicks buddies are probably going to come for me. That's fine. But it is like, once again, you're winning. It's okay. You're still winning. You're going to be fine. It's okay if I'm just one guy. I don't have to like how they play basketball. My opinion sucks anyway. Don't listen to me.
I mean, I was going to try to get this show wrapped up, but I hate to leave it on that note. So, you know what, Tork? We're going to say something that excites us about Top Shot, the NBA, something for the next month. Hit me with some good news now.
The draft. I'm very excited to see. I don't care so much about the first 3 picks. Like, I mean, Devonsa, whatever. I think it's a little overhyped in that regard. But the guards that are going to come off the board after that, the Mikael Browns, Keaton Wagglers, I want to see who's going to trade up and move around and where they go. Kingston Flemings. I watched a lot of the combine. It's just interesting to see the different personalities of these guys, like Darren Peterson, who is he's Kawhi, like, and not with his defense. Like, his personality is very much like he's a self-described antisocial introvert, but yet he sees himself as a point guard at the next level. He averaged more turnovers than assists at Kansas. And so either way, or would you like a Kingston Flemings who talks about playing for Kelvin Sampson and making his teammates better and all the things that he does to get better, learning from shooters who shoot better than him. And anyway, so he's projected to end up in Sacramento. If Sacramento ends up with him, I'm very happy for Chewy and co, because they need somebody to bring their spirits up. If there's one thing that I think Kings fans can take solace in, at least you're not Wizards fans.
Honestly, yeah. Sorry, SDA, but yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty solid. I haven't met a bad Kings fan, if I can be honest. Chewy's a sweetheart, and I think that's actually, I'm just going to jump in real quick. That's a perfect segue. I just want to give you guys your flowers too. Like, I don't know if you know this or if you really take that moment, because we don't. As people, we do things, we go through the motions, and we don't really take heed of like what our impact is in the community. And like Mac, yourself, Tork, like, I'm just going to rattle off a few off the top of my head, but like Chewy, Leet, Okie Kid, Memphiadel, Kenny, there's Reddy, there's a whole bunch of guys and gals, obviously. Sorry, Mac.
It's all good.
But like, you guys absolutely make this what it is. And I don't know if you know that as well as like you probably should, but having that presence around the Top Shot space has really made my collecting experience more enjoyable. And it's doing the things that I wish I had the attention span to do more of. Like, I had a good idea last year, I just couldn't follow through with it. But what you give to the community and give to people, and it's the selflessness is just, it's awesome. And it's just really cool to see. So on the topic of things I'm excited about this year, it's more of that and more of the community. And I love you guys.
I could not wrap up the show better myself. Honestly, like, we really appreciate you coming on, and we love this community so much. And thank you for debuting with us on episode 141. It was about time we had you on.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
The palindrome. The palindrome app.
Oh, yeah.
Palindrome with the Dirk Nowitzki, 41 in it. So there you go.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I really appreciate you taking the time. It's an absolute blast. And I mean, thanks for giving us our flowers. But no, this is a community thing. I mean, like, you guys, you mentioned Kenny, Lee, those guys, Elkie Kid, Tree to Kiss, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, but these are the guys. Like, we're the ones. We all make it go. You guys are. I mean, I see you in the Top Shot streets, in the social media streets. I mean, like, it's an effort by everybody. And I'm just, if not for anything else, extremely thankful for the group that we have right now. Like, I feel really spoiled, quite honestly. So yeah, shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have the best core group going. And on that note, that is a wrap on episode 141 of the Connectin and Connectin Pod. We will see you guys next week.
Peace out, guys.
Watching Collecting and Connecting. Take a look at our YouTube channel for more content and some past episodes on all the types of collectibles that are out there, physical, digital, and join our Discord, come in and chat, buy some merch from our website, and just take a look, subscribe, guys. And if you ever want to be on the show, tell us about your collectibles, just send us a DM, send us a comment, and we'll reach out. So thanks a lot, and keep watching Collecting and Connecting.